Welcome to Agent Navigator's presentation of Medicare Supplement Enrollment, basic enrollment information for Medigap plans. Now, Medicare Supplements differ from Part C and Part D plans for enrollment. To be eligible, the beneficiary has to have both Medicare Parts A and B. And unlike Part C and D plans, enrollment is all year. They can apply anytime they want for a Medicare Supplement policy. However, they may have to pass underwriting depending on when they apply. So obviously, if they apply anytime during the year, they may have to pass underwriting. But if they are first aging into Medicare, within the first 6 months of their Part B effective date, they are guaranteed issue. Now, pay attention to the Medicare card because the Part B effective date may differ from the Part A effective date. If someone is still working when they're 65, they may have the option of waiving Part B until they are fully retired from their current employer. So I've seen instances where Part B effective dates are 2, 3, 4 years behind Part A, depending on when that person officially came off their group coverage. So make sure that just because they age into Medicare in July of this year doesn't mean they picked up Part B as well. So pay attention to their Part B effective dates. If they're coming up group coverage, they have 63 days to choose new coverage if they already have Part B. Obviously, if they're just getting Part B, they still have the same 6-month window. But if they already enrolled in Part B, or if their employer made them enroll in Part B, and let's say their group plan leaves, they have 63 days to choose new coverage. This also applies for current Medicare Supplement drops them. If their plan leaves the area, which I haven't seen happen too much, but if their plan leaves the area, they will have a 63-day window to choose new coverage. Now, if they're coming off an MA plan, they do have a 12-month trial period with MAs. If they disenroll out of their MA plan within 12 months, they can go back to their supplement or choose a supplement underwriting free. This only applies if it was their first time in an MA plan. So if you had someone that turned 65 and they chose a Medicare Supplement, a Medicare Advantage plan, they have 12 months to choose a Medicare Supplement underwriting free. Or if they had a Medicare Supplement for 5 years, disenrolled and enrolled into MA plan, they'll have an additional 12 months to choose a Medicare Supplement underwriting free. So remember, they basically have a 12-month test drive with MA plans if it's their first time. Now, some states have special election periods when they could choose coverage underwriting free. An example, Missouri has a clause where a beneficiary can choose a like supplement on the anniversary date of the effective date underwriting free. Check with your state for similar plans. Now, the Missouri option works like this. Let's say your anniversary date was July when you bought your supplement, and you have Plan F. Well, every July, you could shop for a new Plan F from any carrier in that area, underwriting free. So if carrier ABC had a supplement Plan F for $200 a month, and that's the plan you had, and carrier XYZ had a Plan F for $160 a month, they could change that $160 a month carrier and save $40 a month and still have Plan F. Now, it has to be like-to-like plans in that instance. So if you're Missouri, there's a good clause for you. Not all states have this, and some states may have different variances of it. So check with your state. You can call the Department of Insurance or search their website for similar enrollment periods. Now, the application, once you've figured out if they have to be underwritten or if they are guaranteed issue, when you're doing the application, there are various ways to send a complete application. And this is all carrier-based. Some require you to mail it, some you can fax it, some you can do it over the internet, and some you can do it even over the phone. So if there's a live check, you probably will have to mail a check to the carrier. Otherwise, they may be able to do it over the phone. So again, check with your carrier and ask them what methods they accept applications. And that will, of course, differ from carriers. Now, if they are turned down, if they are not in a non-guaranteed issue period, and they are turned down for coverage, the carrier is required to notify the client and return any premium that was submitted with the application. Now, there are obviously some carriers with much easier underwriting than others, so don't be discouraged if they are denied coverage from the first carrier. You can always move on to the next and see if they will pass underwriting there. Another good point, if you are doing the application, you may also want to call the underwriting department before you go through the application process to see how they would treat one thing over another. Thank you for for viewing this. If you have additional questions, comments, or concerns, please visit agentnavigator.com. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter for weekly Medicare updates. Have a great day. Hello and welcome to Agent Navigator's presentation of Medicare Supplement carriers, choosing a carrier to contract with. Now, one key question to ask yourself when looking to offer Medicare supplements is who to choose. Now, there are many carriers to choose from in the Medicare supplement world, and many will vary by location. So here's some things to consider when looking at choosing a carrier or carriers to represent. Plan offerings is obviously one key factor. All supplement carriers must offer Plan A, but offering any other all plans is up to the carrier. Example, Carrier 1 listed here offers plans A, F, and G. Carrier 2 offers plans A, C, F, and N. So if you want to offer Plan F, obviously both Carrier 1 and 2 are feasible. But if you're looking to offer Plan G, Carrier 2 does not offer it, so you have to go with Carrier 1. Same thing with Carrier N. Carrier 2 only offers it, not Carrier 1. So obviously it would probably be a good consideration to offer both carriers, have them in your pocket so you can do a comparison of plans. But not every carrier has to have each plan offering. Another one is name recognition. There are many companies you've probably never heard of offering Medicare supplements. And there's a good chance that if you never heard of it, your client or potential clients never heard of them either. There may be some plans that are very popular in your area, and having these plans to offer may help give you credibility when talking to potential clients. If you're offering the main plan in the area, even if you don't sell that much, just having them in your back pocket and saying you're contracted with them may build credibility with potential clients. To give you an idea on name recognition and who's out there, the top 5 carriers for the market share of 2008-2009 seasons were United Healthcare, which sold under the AARP brand, had 29% market share. They had the most market share of those years, and they were available nationwide. The second one, WellPoint/Anthem, had 8% of the market share. You see there's a big difference between 29% and 8%. And they were available in certain states as listed there. Mutual of Omaha had 6%, and they were offered nationwide. HCSC, which is Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Mexico, Illinois, Oklahoma, and Texas, had 5%. Conseco had 4%, and they were nationwide. So you see the market share between the top 5 companies was over 50%, 52% to be exact. So all the other carriers, the hundreds of other carriers out there, were competing for less than 50% of the market share, and as you can see by the numbers here, had less than 4% nationally of the share of Medicare supplements. So there are a lot of companies out there with very small market share that you probably never heard of, that just because they weren't heard of, it doesn't mean they're a bad company. They may just be localized. So keep that in consideration. Now, of course, when buying anything, price is always a consideration. And premium has always been a driving factor in Medicare supplement sales. One thing to consider, make sure you're doing your clients a service by not just selling low price, but stable rates. If you're selling a plan that typically has 25% rate increases versus another carrier that only has maybe 10% rate increases, you'll be doing a client a disservice because in a couple of years they could be paying a lot more for the cheaper supplement. Now, some state DOI websites have supplement pricing available, and some even have historical indexes on premium increases. So if that's not available, feel free to call the carrier themselves and ask what their last rate increases have been over the past handful of years to see if there are significant increases. Your FMO or IMO. Now, obviously, if you're contracting through an FMO or IMO, they may already have the key contracts in your area. If you're looking to contract with them, though, make sure you're asking about releases prior to contracting. So you don't want to lock your contract up or possibly have to forfeit your renewals by signing up for doing an FMO or IMO. Now, direct contracting may not always be available as well. Some carriers only work through FMOs. So make sure if that's the case, you are asking about releases and owning your book of business, as you don't want to lose that contract just by leaving an FMO. Now, when looking at all of it and looking at all the supplement carriers out there, especially when looking at similar plans like Plan F to Plan F, there are two main differences between the carriers. There would be premium and underwriting. Premium being what they're paying now and what their future increases may be. Underwriting, too, is just because one company says no, another company may say yes. So when looking at all the vast different options out there, Money and underwriting are the two main differences since plans are standardized, i.e. Plan F is Plan F for everybody. So there are some key considerations when looking at contracting with Medicare Supplement carriers. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter with weekly Medicare updates at agentnavigator.com. Thank you for viewing and have a great day.